let's go to fantasy. Let's talk some fantasy. All you fantasy managers coming
Back,
up,
baby.
To your league draft coming up, man. We're going to get you ready with a special hot and cold segment. Hot and cold, man. We're going to talk about some of the hot players in the drafts that have been happening already, some of the cold players in the drafts that have been happening already. We've analyzed that stuff so we can tell you. Let's go first to the hot players, T, and let's talk about two must draft players. All right, you pick one, I'll pick one, you pick one, and so on. And then I got a little comparison to show you. How
You're
about
the
your
boss.
must
You're
draft?
the boss. My first must draft here is if you can get this guy, it's Justin Jefferson. I just think there's no can't miss with him.
Wow.
You know, people are going to say Cooper Kupp. Well, you know, I like Allen Robinson a lot right now, and I think they're going to focus on the run game to save Matthew Stafford a tendonitis in his arm a little bit. They didn't have Robert Woods for the full season. Cooper Kupp just had an all-time season. For guys to do that multiple years in a row, that's a big ask, right? That's just, he's gonna regress. So give me Justin Jefferson, because not only was he fourth in receptions, second in yards, but he's now in an even better offense. All right. He's in a pass first offense. Thielen being back and healthy gives, they should alleviate some pressure that typically comes on him. He could have an even bigger year this year with Kirk Cousins taking a step as a passer and the offense being, or the head coach being focused offense first here. I really like Justin Jefferson to lead potentially fantasy football in scoring.
I like him. That's a good pick. That's a good pick. He's not the best LSU player out there, though. I'll tell you that.
I know.
The best LSU player is over on the Bengals, but I love that pick. I do love your pick. Let me go over to someone a little bit further down the draft board that I really like. He's wide receiver 13, Michael Pittman, the guy behind me. You see that picture behind me, Team Money? Hey, solid year last year with Wentz, but now we moved to Matty Ice. Matty Ice is going to help Michael Pittman. I'm going to give you a little stat, man. From 2008 to 2020, Matt Ryan's top wide receiver averaged 156 targets per year and finished as a top 10 fantasy wideout in all but one of those seasons. Michael Pittman, good pick there, must have.
Nope, I like it. Now, caveat that it was Julio Jones for a majority of that, all-time great receiver, but agree with you. And I'm a piggyback for you, give you a little boost. Frank Reich just quoted saying, we can't be a ground and pound offense. Those don't win Super Bowls. So, they're going to try to pass the ball more than they ever have, especially with Matt Ryan coming in. I like it a lot, G-Man.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. My second must-have here, Aaron Jones. All right. I think a lot of guys are sleeping on Aaron Jones right now. He's going at about 9 or 10 running back wise in a lot of the fantasy drafts and PPR. And people are high on AJ Dillon. And look, I like AJ Dillon. That dude might be Quadzilla 2.0. He's just massive, but he's still their best running back. He's still on a big time contract. So they're going to give him the ball. But he also might be the best receiver on that team. And like we talked about earlier in the show, G-Man, even when A.J. Dillon is on the field, Aaron Jones is going to line up at receiver in maybe some sort of wishbone package where he flares out. This guy's going to get plenty of run touches and still line up as a receiver and he's just going to get all the touches. Aaron Rodgers only throws to guys he trusts, and Aaron Jones is going to be the benefit of that. I love Aaron Jones to maybe be top 5, top 3 guy this year. I think he's being criminally underrated.
All right. Hey, I love him. I love him too. You're obviously talking to the draft managers and who they're going to take with those first few picks. These are some great picks that you're bringing up. I'm coming down a little bit further into that second, third round realm, and maybe a little bit further, giving you some guys I think can start and score a lot of points for your team. I'm going down to, let's go down to number 28, RB 28, Kareem Hunt. I like Kareem Hunt this year. His contract expires in 2023, so a lot of incentive here. And if he ends up at another team, he could be the number one at some other team. He only played 8 games last year due to calf injury, and he killed it in those 8 games. He averaged 17 fantasy points per game before he got hurt.
Yeah.
So he's got some upside, man. This guy has some upside. If they ever let him loose, he's going to be great. He's 6th ranked yards after contact. I like Kareem Hunt here, man, as a must-have.
All right. I like him too. He's being very underdrafted right now. But he's automatically an RB1 if Nick Chubb goes down, and can be a playable flex even when Nick Chubb is healthy. I like him a lot as well, G.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned where he's being drafted, because my next little question here for you, I went up and grabbed the rankings of the players being drafted higher than what the experts are saying. That's ECR versus ADP. ECR is the consensus ranking, the expert ranking. ADP is the average draft position of people like you and me that are in the draft. So
All
it's
right.
where they're drafted versus where they're ranked by the experts. And these guys I'm going to tell you right here, I want to get your reaction to them. These guys are getting love in the drafts. The draft managers love them a lot more than what the experts are saying. What do you think, man? That means they're going to draft them earlier than you think. All right, here's the top 5. TJ Hawkinson from Detroit. We got DeAndre Hopkins from Arizona, Hunter Renfrow, Antonio Gibson, Adam Thielen, and one of the guys, 8th, the highest ranked guy, Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is getting drafted, and he's ranked 27. He's getting drafted 10 spots earlier than that.
Yeah. Well, you got a question for me, G? What do you want from me?
What do you think about that? Do you think those guys are getting drafted earlier than the experts think?
I mean, I don't have the list of all 10 guys you just named off. I don't have that good of a memory, but TJ Hawkinson, I'm okay on.
Nick Chubb, what do you think about Nick Chubb?
I'm not sold on him. Nick Chubb, I like early, especially those first 11 games. He's going to be the focus of the offense. Jacoby Brissett's not going to light the world on fire. Adam Thielen,
you're not alone. You're not alone.
I'm up on Adam Thielen. I do think he's going to have a big year because of the pass first offense the Vikings are moving into and all the pressure going to Cook and Jefferson. TJ Hawkinson, not sold on. I think he's going to get a lot of targets, but Jared Goff's throwing him the ball. Amon St. Brown is killing it. I like him. Jameson Williams coming back in the second half of the year is going to slow him down. Who are the others you were naming there? I can't even remember.
Well, I think some of the issue is that they're ranked so low that people are drafting them at the regular positions. Like Adam Thielen's ranked 78th, but people are drafting him sooner.
Yeah.
They think that he's going to do what he always has done. Whereas I think the experts see him falling back.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't know.
So interesting, man. All right. He's a wide receiver 34, Thielen, but 78th overall. But that's interesting there. When you're in your draft, you got to know, hey, where are these players going to get drafted higher than what the experts are saying? Or are they going to get drafted lower? I'm going to show you the lower list in a minute. Let's go to the cold. We're going to go to 2 must-avoid players each. T-Money, who must we avoid here on your list?
Derrick Henry, man. Derrick Henry's a must-avoid for me.
You're going big time.
He's getting too old. He's had too many touches. He's had too many little injuries here as of late in the past few years. I think now defenses with the loss of A.J. Brown, he is the sole focus. They're going to stack that box because Tannehill's not good enough to spread that ball around. And Robert Woods is not going to be the reason that defensive backs have to, go back in the back go back deep and coming off an injury. So I just think Derrick Henry is a big ask this year to continuously be one of the top 3 running backs in the league. I'd rather have a guy like Najee, who's great in the pass game, or Dalvin Cook, who is, still young, great offensive scheme, and has Justin Jefferson out there to alleviate some of that pain. I think Derrick Henry is going to have a lesser year than people think.
Hey, I could see that happening, man. They could stack the box on him unless that rookie wide receiver gets going out there.
Yeah.
Hey, or Malik. Malik could do something at quarterback.
If they bring in Malik, I like Derrick Henry, but I don't like Derrick Henry if Tannehill's a starter.
Well, we are each trying to pick a running back and a wide receiver. My cold running back. I'm going to say Damian Harris. Damian Harris on the cold. Not that I don't like Damian Harris. I do like Damian Harris. I just think they're going to this 50-50 split with him and Ramondre, and everybody's going to lose. People are going to be so frustrated by New England. And I think they forget the frustration that they had last year. because remember, James White was there and it was even worse. So this could be another frustration. You go for Damian Harris, and they 50-50 split, which they had in the 6 games they played together last year. They averaged 9 points each, 9 fantasy points each. If they combine that, that's 18 points. And that's a great running back day. But they're averaging 9 points each, and that's not good to anybody. I say Damian Harris is a must avoid.
Yeah, I'm not high on him. I do like Ramondre Stevenson, maybe later in rounds. But yeah, I agree with you. I think there's going to be a big 50-50 split here. I don't see anyone. I think they're going to go.
Said it. They said they're going to go 50-50.
Yeah, I think they're going to go series for series, leave the guys on the field so that they don't, I think Belichick has been said they doesn't like having to, if they had LeGarrette Blount in there, they knew they were running. If they had James White in there, they knew they were throwing, right? They don't want that anymore. So they're going to leave one guy on the field at all times, and they're going to split it 50-50. Agree with you. I like the pick. My other receiver to avoid, though, AJ Brown. All right. Injured last year. Hurts is a worse thrower than Tannehill is, especially with the deep ball. And Devontae Smith is a better number 2 than Brown has ever played with and has rapport with Jalen Hurts. So I just think AJ Brown can't expect to have a better year than he's had in past. And not only that, especially in the red zone, AJ Brown's a big target. I think that Hurts' running ability will take away the availability of touchdowns on that offense. So I think when they're going deep, they're going to be looking Devontae Smith. When they're going short, they're going to be Hurts' run game and Miles Sanders and those boys. So AJ Brown's really only the middle of the field and, in between those linebacker safeties. And I just don't think Hurts is a good enough thrower to carry 2,000-yard receivers, which is everyone is expecting, let alone an elite, maybe wide receiver 1 in AJ Brown. I don't see that happening. I see him having kind of an off year this year.
Whoa. That's a big name. That's a big name.
Yeah.
Your Philly team, man. Hey, I'm going to go. I like 2 that I would put on there, but my top must avoid. I'm going to say no on Michael Thomas. I'm not buying on Michael Thomas. Now he's got a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
Come on, man. This guy, no, I'm not going to bet on this guy. He hasn't played for 2 years, and now he's injured before we even get to the first game.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. No, I can't take it. I like Olave. Olave could be the surprise pick here. He could come in and take the whole thing.
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry will be good. He'll be solid in the middle of the field, getting his big catches when they need it on third down. But Olave could be the man here. I say no on Michael Thomas.
Yep, I feel you. I just don't ever want to get part of that stock. Missed 2 years basically. Well, if he fell 5 rounds after his ADP was, then sure, why not? That'd be great. I'll snag him up when it's either him or McCole Hardman. Sure, I'll take a flyer on Michael Thomas. But yeah, I agree with you. He's just been too injured, getting too old. Jameis Winston's not Drew Brees. Well, I don't know. Already injured. I feel you, man.
Hey, let's go to wrapping this segment up, talking about the cold players. How about some of the players that are getting drafted lower than they should be, according to the experts anyway? They're ECR versus ADP. And so there is a big gap. One of them is surprising. Rashad Bateman, Baltimore wide receiver, is not getting the love in the draft. He's ranked 61st overall. He's the 28th wide receiver, but people are picking him a lot lower, which means if you like Rashad Bateman, you could pick him up later than you think if your draft goes like that.
Yeah, I've seen that as well. Rashad is fallen in drafts. I just think people don't trust Lamar Jackson for the consistency. And I think when you're going for wide receiver 1s and 2s, you're looking for consistency. You'd rather have a guy that's going to get you 13 both weeks instead of one guy that's going to get you 20 and 8. Right.
And then that's right. And then one of the big running backs falling off there, Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds ranked as the 25th running back, running for Miami this year, but people are not drafting him. I think it might be that Miami backfield, man. You get stuck in that Miami backfield, you might never come out.
I know. And I agree with you. I like Chase Edmonds. He's said to be the starter and having a good camp. But I think you look at last year, James Conner got a lot of work with the Cardinals when he was there. And you look what Mike McDaniels is coming from, the Shanahan system, where they are just constantly rotating running backs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have Elijah Mitchell, who no one knew about a year ago. I mean, I think he was playing in the XFL. So, I mean, this is what that system does. You have Raheem Mostert, who's been in the system. You have Myles Gaskin and Chase Edmonds, all good running backs, but no one's great. They're going to rotate through these guys. And so when you know there's most likely a rotation and that's the type of system, you're not as confident. And I wouldn't be either getting Chase Edmonds at his current ECR. I can see his ADP falling.
Well, hey, T, it's been great to kick off the new fresh fantasy show here today with you. We got our draft this Saturday night, man. I know you got some other leagues you're in. Best of luck on the draft on Saturday night, man.
Hey, you too, man. I can't wait. Excited to kick off some fantasy.
Hey, we hope you're loving the Father, Son, and Holy Sport podcast. If you love the show like we love you, press that like and subscribe. And if you're interested in being a sponsor or a guest on our show, reach out to us. Look for us on all the platforms at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. And look for our website, man. Got merchandise. Get some merchandise for the season. Get yourself dressed up in some Father, Son sports gear. And next week, we'll bring out the bets for you. The Big Bet Show is coming back next week as the games start approaching. On behalf of T-Money, I'm G-Man. Hey, see you next week.
All right. Peace.